Welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters World Championships in Hanover, Germany. We are going into Game 3, the final game of our semi-final between Gambit Gaming and his CJ Entus Frost. This is so epic. Frost, you know, kind of dominating the first game, and then Gambit kind of dominating the second, but because Frost dominated the first game slightly faster, they had to pick on which side of the map they wanted, and they chose red again.
Yeah, they chose second pick. They want to see what Gambit have in store and do their best to counter it. I mean, it's not a foolproof strategy. You can't counter everything you get there, but give it a good shot.
It gives you one extra counter pick. That's the real key. Having that very, very last pick means you know everything that Gambit Gaming are going to put on the table, and allows you to say, this is what we want to reply to what you are, you know, putting out there. What are you putting on offer? In terms of the picks and bans so far, other than changing up that single singed, we've seen very, very similar bans from Gambit. They didn't like Elise, been banned out both times. They got rid of, well, let me rephrase it. It was same bans from CJ Frost. Caitlyn Urgot in the first game, they banned Cindy Rumble in the second game. And both games, CJ Entus Frost have removed Renekton, Shen, and Kayle.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
So, expect to see the same is what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think for sure we're going to see Singed banned again. I mean, that was part of the recipe for success there, and probably maybe Rumble again, which may lead into very similar compositions yet again.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, to be honest, if we play, or if we see exactly the same ban order, considering it's exactly the same pick order as it was previously. Honestly, the picks weren't particularly the issue. Maybe we'll see Nasus in there instead of Elise. That's the one thing I might see swapped out. But honestly, it was the playstyle. That's the way Gambit controlled the map a lot better. The switch of their lanes around a lot better. Alexis was not shot down anywhere near as hard.
Now, we've seen two Gragas plays coming out of Rapid Star in both of these games, and both of the Gragas plays have been very, very good. Is there a reply to Kha'Zix being picked, or do you think that's the champion that he actually wants to be playing right now?
I think that's the champion he wants to be picked, to be honest. Wants to be playing right now. It's a little bit different. He's the only one that's doing it, but at the same time, he's got a reason behind it. It's a strong champion. I don't know. I haven't had a chance to speak to him, to be honest. There's a couple of theories going on in my head, but I don't want to say something that could be particularly inflammatory.
Could put you in the deep end, So we do have the players there in the lobby. We're about to get this underway. This is, of course, for a spot in the grand final. One of these two teams will earn their spot and guarantee first or second here at the Intel Extreme Masters World Championships. And we're going to have the other semi-final tomorrow.
Well, I'm very nervous. I'm actually giddy because we're all fans. We don't just watch. We're not just super pros that are completely neutral to all of this with no emotions. And I got to tell you, I'm shaking a little bit, and I think a lot of people at home are probably shaking a little bit. Not to be biased, but we watch a lot of League, and man, it means a lot to me.
It's very, very awesome. And these quick fire bans, I mean, take a look at this.
I don't know why I thought Elise would be switched with Nasus.
Yeah, I figured that.
Banned Elise.
Well, take a look at this.
Nasus, but it is exactly the same bans. All right.
Well, in a matter of 1 minute, not even, we have gone bang, 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 bang. Every single ban. Elise, Singe, Rumble from Gambit Gaming. It is a mirror of their previous bans and in the same order. Exactly the same for CJ Entus Frost. We do see, the Thresh Prince of Bel-Air. Edward has locked his, but they've stolen away Kha'Zix and MF.
They're just swapping champions. All right, you take out Kha'Zix and MF. We'll have your Xin Chao Cloud Templar. You're not touching that one this time round. But now as well, Alex going to run. He's got a big roster in there. We saw him play Zed earlier on in the tournament through the group stages and a couple of previous things.
What about Ryze? Ryze versus Kha'Zix is a matchup we've seen many, many times. And Alex, Robo Plick, Ryze, it's one of his preferred.
Yeah, it's very possible. I'm not sure if they want to reveal it quite so early on, but I mean, that would take a gamble, of course, that Kha'Zix is mid. That's the thing. Kendra and Kog'Maw, we've seen a couple of times now. They've lane swapped that around and left him to 2v1 and let and then he called him Ghost Pepper. Edward will roam around a little bit again and help things out when he's up, down, or down in the bottom lane against the one bruiser or tank or whichever it is he gets up against. It's an option, although he can be a little bit dangerous. He's very squishy. If you get someone like Kha'Zix leaping straight into the back of the fight, on top of him, he doesn't have much of an escape. I suspect we'll see another cleanse Ghost from Geronimo again, though, considering how easy it is to kite with that.
I'd like to see how the rest of these picks actually do play out, because in terms of the Cogmore compositions, you do tend to see sort of supportive jungle picks that can protect him. Now, Thresh is going to offer a lot in the way of initiation, as well as some sort of zone control, flares, minor knockback, etc. But right now, if Kha'Zix gets a little fed and if this Olaf gets locked in, there's going to be little to nothing that's going to be able to stop them jumping over the members of Gambit Gaming and getting to Genja in that back line.
Olaf, first time we've seen him completely the tournament, no bans, no picks or anything. He had a phase of being a god when Warmogs was first buffed. It was pick Olaf and win the game. If you didn't, you lost. Simple as that. So,
and he got slapped a bit with the nerf back.
He's been knocked around a little bit, but that presence is still there. He can still get particularly strong. It just takes a little bit longer because he doesn't have the cheap Warmogs, so to speak. It's been made a little bit more expensive, but you can still win Warmogs, still win Sunfire, still build him very similar to you do most of the other champions like Darian did.
Darius,
that's the thing.
I want to see where they...
And go through everyone with your ultimate.
I want to see where they put Olaf, because there was a lot of talk around Olaf when he did get changed from 1.74 to 3.01 or 3.02. We're playing on 3.02 right now. And one of the big reasons he dropped out of popularity was the fact that the armor penetration from his ultimate was only then applied when it was activated. So there was a lot of talk saying he's still viable in the jungle, because when he comes to gank, he has his ultimate up and he'll have the ability to do that. Nasus and Twisted Fate have been locked in. I got very excited for a second because, for a moment or two, Alex was hovering over Rise, decided to swap it out for Twisted Fate, get that map control, get that presence, and if you do start to fall behind, it opens up more options in terms of the game, because Nasus, Cogmore, Xin Zhao, they can try and hold the tower relatively well with the box, the knockback, Spirit Fire, etc., and try just let Alex split push.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see exactly how they use this Twisted Fate, because it's very different to what they did before. Their other picks are very similar. I mean, you can still use Cogmore. Whoa! That was a very quick lock-in.
It was. First Olaf of the tournament and now the first Skarner.
Hey, I said before, there's a possibility Frost had something saved up, something special for the final or for Gambit or whatever it was. They obviously feel they needed it. There's still a possibility Shy and Rapid Star might switch here, but I doubt it highly. Olaf in the top lane, or, as I was going to point out before, like they did with Rapid Star's Gragas before, he's got teleport there on purple side, he can go to the bottom lane, grab the blue buff, and 2v1 with it.
Just quickly before we go in, Xin Zhao versus Olaf, who do you prefer in that top lane?
Early, it starts off Xin Zhao, but providing Olaf can avoid too much damage, gets a little bit of farm, gets a couple of levels, he hits that point where you just can't touch him, and every time you come close, you're going to take true damage, he's going to whittle you down.
Well, the bans were the same, but the champion compositions are quite different. This is sure to be interesting, and I think we're all going to learn something right now. The casters are very ready as they're waving at me. It's Lee D-Man Smith, Jason Kaplan. This is going to be amazing.
It is indeed going to be amazing. Here we go. Game 3 of the semi-finals about to get underway. Gambit Gaming, the current reigning champions of the Intel Extreme Masters World Championships, have been threatened by the Korean dominance of CJ Entus Frost. They have 2 other Korean teams in the other semi-final. Will it be an all-Korean final, or will the Russians come and save the day and keep the balance of power with Europe? Who knows? Because the picks and bans have been definitely very interesting here, Jason.
It's the first time we've seen Skarner and Olaf this entire tournament. Actually, it's the first time we've seen Skarner in, I think, over a month or two, to be honest, and he's not paired with really a Thresh combo, but we're going to see how it works out for them. I mean, if they're going to bust it out and use it, I'm assuming they're confident in it and they have a strategy worked out.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. The blue team is going to be Gambit on the bottom side of the map, and the red team will be CJ Entus Frost in the top 2 bottoms. So, Level 1 fights. We saw a little bit of craziness in the last matchup. I'm not too sure whether we're going to see it this time around. Honestly, I don't think Gambit are probably in the position they want to force a level 1 fight. We did see that great hook coming out from Edward that created the opportunity last time around. Woon going very fast in towards that tri-bush there. Wanted to make sure he got there first, strutting his way in towards it, the tri-bush, and we do see Gambit actually heading towards it.
Yeah, I mean, they do have a decent level 1 comp for this. If you get that hook, not to mention the wither, then the 3 talon strike, and he'll knock him up. They have the damage behind it, especially with that gold card. They easily could get this, and they can blind throw that Q in there and catch her without him realizing it.
They've pinged it, and I'm wondering if Edward's going to go in and maybe try and throw their hook out towards that bush before. I think they realize somebody's in it. They've warded out a single spot down by the banana. or death bush, whichever you'd like to call it. I know the teams tend to call it banana. As it stands, they're just huddling around. They're quite happy. You know, they've completely negated their entire bottom half of the jungle. They're happy. Though, if you're going to go for a red invade, fine. We don't mind, because they're going for the red buff themselves.
Yeah, and this is going to be really interesting. Wing's still sticking around right now. It looks like they will concede that red. I'm assuming that Skarner is going to take race and then go over to blue, but they don't have vision on Gambit, so this could be very bad for Frost.
And they're going to see, they're going to hear. As soon as they start, they're going to come around the corner and they're going to be separated. They're going to go in towards it. Woong's going to be the dive. They're going towards Mad Life. The stun card comes out. He might get into towards the turret just in time. The Ignite goes down as well. One more hit will do it. He's going to go down. The Ignite will tick. No! Mad Life survives and he backs straight away. Oh, but here comes Edward. The Thresh Prince comes around and Woong gets hooked in as well. Is it going to be enough to take it round? Genja's going to try and go 1v1, but now Woong's going to get on towards Genja. Genja in trouble, gets forced away by the minions. It does mean that they can't fight for the red buff.
Oh, you say that, but look at the Diamond Proxy coming around. Looks like he actually wants to take it away. And Demon, we're in the same situation we saw last game, where Olaf in the bot lane, Shy is going to have a huge advantage over Darien.
Mad Light, Woong's coming around the side there. They're going to pressure on towards Edward, and then Alex Inch in trouble as well in that mid lane. Aggression comes out, the Ignite goes down. I'm thinking the health pot might just save his life. There's going to be one more tick going down. He saves it, and now they're on towards Edward. Edward in trouble. He's going to go down. Who's going to pick up the kill? It's going to be Shy.
And this game, very action-packed right off the bat. We did have Shy blow his Ghost and Teleport to get to that top lane. And we do actually see Genja heading down towards the bottom. We have actually a blue buff being contested right now. And I'm not sure if Gambit can really fight this as we have Templar coming around.
They don't have the position. You can see Alex Inch is too low in that mid lane. Diamond might be able to try and win the smite fight available. But here comes Rapid Star coming around the side. Diamond now forced to back away from this one. He's caught out around the walls. They're going to leap across. They're going to put a big burst of damage down onto him. Throws down the Spirit Fire. Alex Inch comes around. The slow comes down, but it's not going to be enough. He's going to pick up the kill, and Rapid Star the one.
And 3 very quick kills coming out in 3 minutes time. That blue buff did get taken away. I believe that was taken away by Shy. Yes, it was. Did secure that down. And Gambit, I mean, we're really confused with their picks off the bat. They got that nice first blood, but with the way it's going right now, we have that 2v1 in the top lane. They're pushing that turret very quickly. And as you see the bottom, Genja just trying to farm up.
Oh, and Rapid Star jumps back on towards Alex Inch once again, but he gets launching those cards back into his face. He's going to try and throw out the mana card, get him some health back, and Rapid Star is keeping the poke down. How do you... Let's try and go through these lanes as we see the top lane Darien being pressured as well by Mad Life and Woong. Then that turret already below half hit points, just 3.5 minutes gone. We're not going to see any of those crazy invades around the backside because honestly, it doesn't matter. I think CeBIT Entus Frost have got a big advantage here.
Well, we can't see any actual ganks coming at all because Diamond Fox is still level 1 at this point. He doesn't even have the Wither, still has only that Spirit Fire. He's not going to be able to provide anything, and he is super far behind the jungle to his counterpart Cloud Templar, who have that blue buff, is now level 3, and he'll be very scary once he hits that 6. Obviously, he will be able to gank a lot more quicker than Diamond will because he'll be at that 6 very shortly. But Diamond Prox, he's very far behind at this point, and I'm really worried about that.
He's a long, long way behind, but as it is, Genja down this bottom lane, he managed to get down there early on, but it's going to be this top turret again, and Darien just getting pressured. He can't get any help, like you mentioned. Diamond Prox is going to come around there, but he's spotted by the ward, and as soon as he passes around that ward, Cloud Templar says, fine, I'm going to come around, but he gets clocked. He gets spotted by Gambit's ward. Are they going to try and respond to this one? Will they try and go and get a kill on towards Templar? We see Edward making his move towards there. We also see Alex Inch coming around the side, but they are not going to catch on towards him. Cloud Templar is going to back away. Will he get spotted in time? Alex Inch is going to face check in towards the bush. He's gone!
Gone with by the skin of his teeth right there. Alex almost caught him with that auto attack attack move into bush, but top tower going down for Frost out. Diamond stuck up there just to get some levels, just to catch up a little bit. As we see Darien heading down towards this bottom side. I'm curious if he's going to go for a gank onto Shy or not, and Shy will have that ghost available very shortly.
Now, you see Edward is going to use that pink ward, clearing out. And Darien will be taking down the red buff as well. So, Darien is actually in that red buff. I mean, he's given Diamond the actual farm in that top lane. They realize that he's that far behind that Darien's going to go towards the bottom, and they're just going to have to give Diamond something to try and catch back into this.
I'm curious, are they actually going to switch jungling right now?
They might do.
Just allow Darien to run around the jungle, do the ganks, and let Diamond farm up in this top lane?
But surely the Q works out better for him. As it is, Alex Inch is going to get jumped on there, turns around, puts a couple of cards on towards Rapid Star, but you can see the damage disparity there. Rapid Star doing way more than Alex can put back.
This is very interesting for Gambit if they actually do commit to that, as you see Darien heading back towards this top lane, so it looks like they will switch back around. A ping going down on red buff, but that is not there anymore. And so far, this this Gambit team, this Gambit lineup, just in terms of their champions, hasn't really convinced me just yet.
Edward's going to go head-to-head with Cloud Templar there, gets spotted straight away, pings it out, and they put the ward down. They are going to maybe try and force out a dragon here. Cloud Templar's going to go around to that. He's only at level 3, puts that shield on, and they do start out the dragon. But they have 4 members close by here, Gambit. Are they going to try and contest it, or do they even realize it's happening? As they is, they're going to try and keep the pressure in that mid lane. It's Rapid Star. Diamond Proc's also getting pressure by Shy in the top lane. Let's see with Frost or Cloud. Good lord. I've gone all game without saying it. It is going to be CJ Entus Frost in a dominating performance, and now actually they're going to engage up towards this one. Darian going in towards his Cloud Templar, they're going to go on towards. He's going to go down, one more hit. Darian taken down low. He's going to get dropped. His wound that picks up another kill. Whimsy goes down on towards Edward. They do manage to force him away. He has the flash.
Unfortunately, Alex wasn't level 6 just yet because he did get pushed out of lane very early on. He might have been able to come down and actually pick up a kill or two, but Dragon still anyway is going to be going over to Frost. That nice little bit of gold. And Diamond looks like he's back in the jungle finally, as we see Bot actually gets caught.
Wound gets hooked in there. Is it going to be one more shot? We'll do it. The lash comes out. Edward's going to take a tower hit though. Genja can't quite get on towards it. Madlife picks up the kill on Edward. And now Genja turns on towards Madlife. He hasn't got enough to take him on the turret. Both very low, just teasing him that target, but they can't get the kills.
He's almost level 6 though. If he hits this, he could probably get a double kill here, as we have a teleport coming in from behind him.
It's going to be, the teleport comes down. It's going to be Shy that comes down and immediately puts that Void Ooze down, but he can't get slowed down. He hasn't got his ultimate available, but he's going to have the damage down on towards Genja. Genja cleanses it off there. He's going to get beaten down. One more axe will be enough. Here comes Madlife with the Whimsy. Doesn't matter. Shy gets the kill. It's 5-2 to CJ Entus Frost.
And Frost has a huge lead just starting off this game. 7.5 minutes in. They're already up 5-2 and the 3,000 gold lead as well. They're looking very strong this game. And Alex is now level 6, but the laning phase has been so chaotic. I say, do have Diamond coming in for a gank on him.
The stun goes down. The Wither goes down. Alex is going to try and force onto this one, but the flash comes out from Rapid Star and he's into safe ground as he gets back in towards his turret. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Cloud Templar's doing what he can to try and keep Darian away from that turret. But as it is, Darian will be backing off. Doesn't matter, we're not even going to bother looking at it.
As we have Edward in the bot lane right now, just trying to fend off this 2 DPS push. A Shy maybe backing out instead. Very interesting out of Frost so far. They take a nice bit of an advantage as we have Kha'Zix finally has that tier built up right now, has a Brutalizer, and Alex, he is finally level 6. He built a Seeker's Arm Guard to kind of counter this, but the lane phase, like I was saying before, it's been so chaotic, he hasn't really had an opportunity to gank just yet, and I'm curious to see if he's going to head down towards his bottom lane and really open up a kill onto Woong or onto Madlife.
Well, 65 CS in that mid lane, Rapid Star versus 31 for Alex, which is a huge difference, and it shows why he's struggling out. There's 1,000 gold disparity there, 700 gold between the top laners. The AD carries are the only things that are close right now, and actually in terms of farm, it's Genja with the advantage, but that kill and assist from Woong that he got early on in that jungle has helped him out massively, and he's kept up that gold farm in and out. Down this bottom lane, they're going to keep the pressure on. Edward getting caught out again. That glitter lance from Madlife, he's starting to cause problems for him.
And Rapstar actually did go into the enemy jungle just a little bit to put a ward down towards that Wraith camp, just to spot if Alex is going to head down towards that bottom side. It's going to be very helpful. He knows that Alex can't get the top lane when Shy has that ultimate up. They're not going to be able to stun him or lock him down. This Genja is just getting harassed quite a bit in this lane.
Yeah, they're keeping the... to put the lamp down, try and keep the shield on towards Genja. You mentioned he's getting continually harassed. Mid lane, Seeker's Arm Guards. Really, that's all Alex can do. He's just trying to beat as much as he can. And honestly, with Rapid Star getting strong, he's going to become so dangerous because Genja, he's got no escape. He's only got Ghost. I mean, he hasn't got Flash to get away. So Ghost is not going to do a great deal for you against a leaping fly.
And not to mention a Skarner flashing and pulling you if he can land it with that impale.
And Rapid Star does pick up another blue buff. Skarner now coming down towards this bottom lane. We see Genja and Edward are going to be the targets, the focus on towards that bottom lane. Genja goes aggressive. He tries to put the damage down on towards Woong. The hook comes out from Edward. But as I mentioned, Cloud Templar is in towards that bush and ready and waiting to go.
He is level 6. He has that flash available. This could be a kill for them.
Edward, it's going to be Rapid Star jumping in the mid lane as well on towards Alex. He's going to be prevented from going down towards the bottom. They pinged it already, so they knew that he was looking to try and maybe use that ultimate to go down the bottom. Ghost used by Genja already. That's going to be forced out, and Cloud Templar just backing up and saying, you know, my work here is done. I've already forced the summon a spell out. Diamond Procs, meanwhile, in this top lane against Shy. Darian is going to come around. The Wither will be available. The Ignite goes down from Diamond, but he can just walk away, and there's the Ghost used.
I love this combo we're seeing out of Frost now with Madlife and Cloud Templar. They can speed up that Skarner, get him in there very quickly with that flash and get that pull. As we do see him finally back off in that bottom lane. And Diamond, he hasn't really been able to get any sort of ganks up. Actually, we do have Alex coming down. Looks like he's going to be heading towards his bottom side as he's in his own red buff jungle.
Well, it would be the first attempted gank, but it's not going to be. And Alex really falling behind quite desperately here in this mid lane against Rapid Star. Once again, the Kazakhs seeming to be the champion of choice between them, two AEP mids, and now he's farming out the raids. There's not a lot Alex can do about it. We look back down towards his bottom lane because farming is exciting to watch, and Genja is just going to farm out once again.
And what's really weird is that we've seen, actually Twist, we see Alexich pop his ultimate right there, just a spot where everyone is, and it looks like he's not going to use it to go anywhere. But, you know, Twisted Fates, we've seen them before, and they have that tendency to either be, you know, completely or very impactful in the game or do absolutely nothing. It's really hit or miss. There's really no mid ground in that situation. And I'm curious to see if Alex is just going to try to farm up, maybe do some split pushing, and then finally come into, you know, the fights with a lot of items, or if he's just going to try to fight as a team.
Well, one thing we do see is Diamond Prox has actually surpassed Cloud Templar in levels, which means he has managed to catch up on that massive to horrendous start that he had. Rapid Star, though, is going to close around. There's going to be 3 members of Gambit down this bottom lane, but they're going to have to back away. Edward puts the ward down just in the right time. Diamond doing what he can, takes the Spirit Fire down. Can he go on towards Wound? Puts it down. One more Q is not going to be enough, though. Wound taken very low. They could try and pressure onto this one. Will they follow through? They're not going to have Alexich to come in.
They do have a really low members as well. They could actually push onto this turret a little bit, get some damage onto it, but Genja instead turns and gets those double golems. In the top lane, we're seeing Darien have a very hard time against Shy, who is already building up towards that Warmog's armor. Darien just sitting on those ninja tabbies and that Doran shield. We see an Oracle actually picked up for Mad Life right now.
Mid lane, Rapid Star's going to get the stun card down enemy. He's got Wither back available again, lands the Q, big hit there, but Rapid Star does jump away. Will the stun card be back available? The Ignite comes out, there's the stun card going through. It's going to be a pickup, and Diamond Prox picks up the kill. They really could have done with giving that to Alexich, though.
But still, in the end, taking that kill and actually securing Dragon potentially now, because they had that up.
This
and
is
we'll see if Genja comes around.
Yeah, I wasn't
Teleport
convinced.
up for Shy.
They shouldn't go for that one. As you mentioned, Teleport is available, and honestly, it wasn't really close enough, Gambit. They haven't cleared out that bottom wave, and immediately you can see CJ Entus Frost were ready and waiting for that play.
You see, Shy, I mean, we talked about this a little bit early on. What can Gambit do to stop him from just running straight at their AD carry? And with how far ahead he is right now, they weren't able to hold him back. He has that ability to really get in there. He's already 2-0, already has a nice CS lead over Darien, and it looks like Frost might be poised to go for this Dragon.
Well, we do see the Oracle already out from Mad Life. Pink ward was put down by Edward. Ward put back in towards the rear side of the Dragon Pit. And honestly, I think this Dragon is going to get picked up by Frost. I don't think there's a great deal they can do about it. It's going to stretch the lead to 4,000 gold, which here at the 13.5 minute mark is pretty big. But Shy's going to get closed in on. Here comes Diamond. The Wither gets put down on towards Shy. Shy does manage to turn his ult. He's going to try and teleport away. Is it going to be enough? Can they get the damage down? They haven't got the knock-up. He gets away and teleports away with no health at all. 78.
Yeah, he's setting very low on health. We do have Cloud Temper, though, potentially coming on for a gank. We haven't seen him use his ultimate just yet. With Flash Veil, he might go for it.
Alex did have his ultimate. He didn't go for the kill, though, but instead we see the box coming down. Cloud Templar getting the hook, pulls him in towards the bullet time, and Genja is going to get dropped by Mad Life. And now he just walks away from that one. The explosion is not even going to catch on towards him. Mad Life does go down, but now the blue buff, you can see he's going to come around there. Rapid Star tried to get the steal. Alexich gets it, though.
And look at the kill spread that Frost currently has for themselves. They have 2 kills on Olaf. They have 3 assists on Skarner, 1 on the Kazakhs, 1 and 3 onto Misfortune, and 2 and 2 onto Lulu. They have such a perfect spread at this point that everyone on the team is getting fed at the same time.
Edward is going to try and keep them at bay from this bottom lane. You can see he's looking to maybe try and lash out a hook. Diamond was coming down, but he forces them away, and his AD carry of Genja does get back in there. Now, let's go through what we got going on, because it's been pretty much hectic performance, and that was horrendous English, but nevertheless, we'll skip past that. Item-wise, Infinity Edge is being built up by Genja. He is going to be very strong if they get to that late game, but it's a big question of if they'll get there, because at 2 turrets to 0, the third one almost down as well. CJ Entus Frost are looking unstoppable again.
Yeah, and the thing is, if he does get that Infinity's Edge, he's going to have to invest in that QSS fairly shortly. He's going to need some sort of out to Cloud Templar, because with Lulu speeding him up and the ultimate, he's not going to be able to skate that well, even with that Ghost. He's going to need that sort of item. And also the attack speed. I mean, they're looking at maybe a 30 to 35 minute game just so he has that damage to really take Shy on 1v1 if they do go at each other.
Well, red buff being given to Cloud Templar, so he's going to have that one away. We do see the mid lane, a bit of pressure coming in here, and Gambit Gaming actually 4-manning in towards this mid turret. May well get a wave of damage down, but there is a 4-man defensive force of CJ Entus, and you can see they're immediately coming around. The lamp gets thrown down there, and it's Darien that gets left, has to use his ultimate to try and beat them away. A great catch there from the Glitterland, slowing down 2 members of Gambit. They back off, and while Shy was also making a move for it, Genja, in the meanwhile, continuing to farm that bottom lane, so he's starting starting to gain some ground.
Yeah, what I like is that Gambit's, they're trying to force a little bit of a push as they start their 4 members middle, which drew everyone from Frost to come help out with that mid lane. Obviously, Shy did stay in the top, but it gave Genja that free farm in the bottom lane. He's taking the double golems, he's keeping that lane pushed up, and they're really just depending on him to get fed and get to that point where he can carry the team.
It seems to me that this is for Gambit. It's going to get to the 30-plus minute mark, and Genja, actually they're going in towards Mad Life. Ultimate comes out there, flashes through, puts the stun guard down. The hook was coming in from Edward, but he gets away. And Mad Life, well, he has been playing well, so I guess he is off the hook.
And that flash, kind of wasted right there. You see Darren, he's waiting in this push, but he's 2 lows behind Shy. He's completely under geared. He's actually going to lose this fight if he does commit to it.
He's got a hell of a lot of minions on him as well, but he is just baiting it in because here comes Diamond Prox. Can he manage to tank through this one? I'm not sure Diamond. He may well build enough to more than he can chew. He's going towards the turret. Flashes away there. The minions are going to turn back on towards him. Diamond Prox now. Can he take down Shy? Darian is going to try and come in, but I think he's just going to walk away from this one with his ultimate running.
And Shy, this is totally his playstyle. He loves split pushing as much as possible. With that Ghost and Teleport, he easily has that ability to get into a fight if he needs and also get away if possible.
And that has bought the time for this mid lane, and Edward is going to come in there. They are going to hook on it. Skarner, they managed to catch her. Templar is going to get taken through. Is it going to be enough? They turn around the damage though, and Edward taken very low. The box was thrown in, but it's not going to catch anyone. And now Wound continuing just to farm out this bottom lane. Every advantage of the map is being picked up by CJ Entus Frost.
Yeah, Frost playing perfectly right now. I was really surprised that we didn't see Cloud Temper actually ult anyone there. He had it available. He had that, actually he didn't have the flash start available, but they also had the Lulu ultimate at the time to use, and they didn't really want to engage on anything. We do have the red buff potentially being stolen away here, and I don't think Gambit can really afford to let this go because they're starting to fall behind quite a bit more in gold, and they need to be able to defend their own jungle. We don't see an Oracle picked up just yet on Edward, but he did invest into that Ruby Sidestone.
Alexic having a look around, thought about going down. If it actually uses ultimate, they would spot the 2 in that bottom lane, and you can see Edward using that lantern to try and clear it out. They're going for the red buff, and we see Mad Life and Wound coming around the backside of Genja here. They're ready and waited to go for it. Wound just off the side, he puts bullet time down, and he gets the steal there, but will it be to his life? No, it's not, because the Glitter Lance manages to stop them. Alexic, he tries to go for it. He actually got caught out with a lot of damage there, Alexic, but he does get the stun guard down on towards Wound. Rapid Star making his way down the river, but Genja picks up the kill on Wound. They're going to go straight down. Teleport is coming in on towards the Tribush. Edward lashes it up, tries to flash away. They're going to catch the damage on him. He takes the axe. He's going to get caught out. It's Shy that will pick up the kill. And now back going towards the river. Alex is in trouble. He's going to try and get away. No, he's taken down. Genja's going to get dropped. Frost are dominating Gambit Gaming here. And the explosion. He's going to jump away from it. Wow, Rapid Star gets off. It's 9-4 kills. Big advantages being picked up by Frost here. The top 2 may well go down to Gambit though.
Frost taking a 1v3 right there, very well played. Even Woong stealing away that red buff. Darren, he's going for this turret. He should be able to get it, but it's not enough gold. I mean, we do have an Oracle on Mad Life currently. He's still cutting out a lot of wards, and Edward picked one up for himself. He really wants to get control of this jungle. As we do see Cloud Templar, he's really been a nuisance. That ultimate is really threatening onto everyone of Gambit. We have Twisted Fate, who's really squishy. We have Kog'Maw as well. And not to mention Edward, but the thing is, you're not going to pull Xin Zhao or Nazisson. You're going to go for those every time with that little ultimate to really slow them down and really provide him an in to get there.
Well, now Templar had that great advantage early on. Diamond Prox has managed to catch back up on that farm, but honestly, Shy is causing so many problems for them. Rapid Star is just causing issues. Woong is effectively creating issues as well as he continues to push, continues to press, picking up that red buff just a moment ago. There's the blue buff again going to Alex Hitchen. I was not convinced when I saw Twisted Fate coming out, when they realized surely that Kha'Zix was going to be that mid laner, but when that Olaf got selected, wow. We haven't seen Olaf in competitive play for a while here. Frost pick up the dragon without any reply, and Edward now needs to be careful he doesn't get caught out from Frost with their 4 members invading into the jungle.
This gold lead is getting very...
They're running down the bottom. They're going to... Genja is completely out of position. Templar has got the speed. He should be able to catch on. You can see, actually, Genja's just going to run the opposite direction. He's going to try and back off, but he is completely caught. He's not going to be able to get back in time, and they're just going to try and pick up as much farm as he can before he goes down. And you can see him running for it. He hasn't got Ghost available. He's got Cleanse, but honestly, it makes no difference. He is a dead man. Can they try and create an opportunity from this one? They're trying to push in the mid lane, but Rapid Star's there. He's going to clear the wave.
Yeah, they really did try. Genja's trying to just stall as long as possible, and with no minions, no way to get there. Oh, we have Edward getting very low from Rapid Star.
Rapid Star goes lump, jumping in towards Edward, but he manages to hook him in there. Alex just throws the stun out, but the wild goes back on towards him, and now Diamond Prox, he is not tanky enough. He's on the turret. He's going to go down. Edward tries to lash him up. Edward's going to go down. That's an Oracle burn. It's Shy. He dodges dodges out of one, actually. He should get the final hit, though, and he does take him down. Alex Ich is left scurrying away. He's got full mana and hit points, but he didn't get involved in that fight, and Frost are just tearing Gambit apart.
That was the second team fight in a row where it was a 3-4 on the first time, but 3-4 in the second fight. They're just gaining so much ground right now in terms of gold. They're winning every single fight at this point. They're pushing turrets. We do have Darian going in, but he's not tanky enough to do this, and CJ Frost had too much damage for him to deal with.
Audacious strikes in, crescent sweeps, but it's not enough. He's going to have a knock-up, but he's not going to be able to land it. We did see Alex Ich coming in, maybe thinking of creating something, but you don't want to dive on a 5-man Frost. They are so ready for that, and they just have to throw out the cards and try to keep as much protected as they can. They have to use protect the Cogmore. It's not working for them. He's been caught out in lane too many times. He's 2-4-0 already, and honestly, it's a questionable choice of champion.
They don't actually have a good composition for that anyways. They don't have any form of CC to lock down Shy. You know, a Jarvan would have been perfect just to hold him down. Obviously, it was too late to pick him up when you already had your jungler chosen. But Genja, I mean, if he has to be the one to carry the team, and we have to see some amazing footwork out of him, not to mention a couple of items on top of that. But looking over onto Cloud Templar, that's Shirelius. I mean, he's moving so fast as it is just with that shield, with Lulu, and then with that popped on top of it, he can pretty much ult anyone he wants to at this point.
And Rapid Star just keeps on growing more damage. He's got the hit points as well with that Giant's Belt in there. And honestly, he's so far ahead right now of Alex Ich. He has been the whole way through. Alex Ich just desperately trying to pick something up from this. Mooney Bulwark will be completed at some time soon. Sunfire Cape has been picked up by Darian. What did Gambit need to do other than, you know, it's your first event? What do they need to do?
Well, the big problem is Shy. It seems like every time these teams play, Shy is like the one to really harass them down. He loves playing these champions that can just run in there and do as he pleases, just like his Singe, but they have to control the Olaf, and yet they don't have the ability to. They don't really have a disengaged team to get away from him. They need to have some sort of, potentially maybe a Shirelius just to help Genja get away with that Ghost. They need to let him farm up just a little bit more so he can take him on. He needs some sort of attack speed as he does get that Zeal finish. And Alex Ich, I mean, he hasn't been really involved in this game. I mean, he's been there for a couple of ganks, but he hasn't been able to really do anything yet.
Well, they haven't had a full-on 5v5 fight here. Darian has been positioned away. Genja continuing to farm out that bottom lane. And as Frost start to pile in and they're going to run down that bottom lane, can they get on towards him? We're going to have Strut from Woong. You might be able to get the slowdown. Of course, it's Cloud Templar that will be the man positioning, poison himself, charging in towards Genja, and Genja does back away from the turret. And that's going to be another turret they're giving up here, and Frost are just slowly but surely suffocating Gambit. That's going to be 5-1 in turrets, and it's a 10,000 gold lead now. The Wither on towards Rapid Star. They're going to try and fight this one. They're going to have teleport available for Shy, though, and he's coming in already. Here comes Shy, down around the side there. Mad Life is going to get dropped. Woong will get taken down by Darian here in the pit, but Alex Ich is going to get taken down. Diamond Prox is eating all sorts of damage. It's going to be Rapid Star jumping across. That's going to be the Riders. They're jumping on towards Genja. Genja's doing what he can to avoid anything here, but he's just running for his life. Oh, the damage just dodging out there. Throws out the Void Staff. Edward lashing on towards Cloud Templar. Is Genja going to come around? He's going to hook in towards the minions. Edward trying to run, trying to save anything he can here. Genja, meanwhile, trying to get the damage on towards the backside of Shy there. It's just getting split apart. It's 3-2 currently, the trades, and honestly, Gambit, they just can't manage to catch a break in the fight here, and Frost are too good for them.
They don't really have a strong team fight composition as well. I mean, the Twisted Fate is really the odd pick in this whole comp, as you do have potentially Rapstar. It's like he was trying to catch off Genja right there, but you know, in the end, it was a 2-for-3. At least Gambit did pick up a couple of kills. They also got a killing spree off of Mad Life. This is an extra 430 gold. However, it did go to Edward, so it's not the ideal person for it to go to, but you know, he was able to pick up an Oracle. He's able to take out these wards in his own jungle and really give them some sort of control back on the map.
Rapid Star's going to close in towards Alex Ich. The Voice Bites goes down. He gets a big claw in the back. There's his ultimate going down. Alex Ich is going to throw the stun card down. The lamp was there. The glory, could he get away? But no. Again, Rapid Star playing an immaculate Kha'Zix right now.
And the gold lead is extended to 10,000 at this point. Demon Baron is a very possible choice for Frost.
Look at that. It's a 3,200 gold just on Rapid Star over Alex Ich.
Jeez, that's so hard to come back from, especially when you're Twisted Fate. You're really dependent on snowballing early on. He has been able to do that. And I'm thinking that with this Oracle on Mad Life and with him warding up that top side of the river, they easily could go for this Baron.
Woom going aggressive on Diamond. He's just forcing him away there, trying to farm out with that Spirit Fire, but not allowing him. Mad Life clears out the Baron pit. Shy continues to farm in that top lane. Shy has teleported in and just cleaned up. He's been a hoover. 5-0-1. Warmogs on him, as well as the Warden's Mail with that Giant's Belt. We do have the Randian's Omen nearly ready on him, and look at that. They're desperately going to walk in, and Cloud Templar goes in. He manages to land the hook. It's Edward. He pulls in. Bullet time goes across. He just gets decimated. Darian tries to crescent sweep, tries to keep them away, but he is going to get slowed. He goes Audacious striking back in. Doesn't matter. He gets taken down. Rapid Star picks it up. It's Baron time.
It's such a great position for Frost to fight, and they had them all locked up, all bunched together for that bullet time to come down from Woong. Amazing play to them. Perfect positioning, perfect timing for that fight. And with this Baron, they're going to have the ability to really siege down these turrets, as there's only one outer turret currently left right now, as it's 5-1. And this gold lead is extending even further. And Rapid Star, 2,000 gold right now he's sitting on.
There's a big difference in that top lane. It's 3,000 gold, almost. The top lane, the middle lane, the support, ironically, is also a 3,000 gold difference. And Woong is the only one that's really being kept up with, but that's 1,000 gold difference as well, the jungler. So all across CJ Entus Frost, the advantages are quite visible in the items as well. And it is 18-6. 27 minutes gone in this game. We talked about the fact that Genji needs to get the late game. He's not getting a chance. He's still only got that Infinity Edge and Zeal. He hasn't been able to get the Phantom Dancer yet, and he really needs also the Last Whisper in there, because simply put, he needs to get to a situation where he can tank and solo Shy, and he is nowhere near it.
And the problem is with Shy getting that Randuin's Omen, he can't even be kited anymore, because every time he attacks him, he's going to get slowed. Genji's going to have a really tough time here. He does have the money for his Fan Dancer, I believe. But still, another Dragon being picked up now for CJ Frost. His gold lead extending even further up to 14,000 at this point. And they just have the ability to just push this mid lane if they want. Take an inhibitor. They can easily get an inhibitor at this point.
Mad Life
especially with that
gets
little
picked
ulti.
out. They're running straight up towards Mad Life. And Darian is going to get completely separated from the team here. He thought he was being sneaky to get that one last wave, but instead it does mean he's going to get pinned out. He's going to try and draw the team away, and immediately Gambit trying to respond to this one. Maybe going to try and push up that mid lane and pick up just a turret. Darian's going to run as far as he can in towards CJ Entus Frost base, and you can see Alex Ich along with Edward pushing in towards that mid lane, trying to do what he can. He's actually been left to solo Rapid Star here, and he may have a good go at him, but Rapid Star is just too tanky, too much damage. He's getting the life steal back, he's getting the regen back, and Darian realizes it. Why did he use his ultimate? I'm not too sure. It doesn't matter. It's going to get wiped out. Now Genji's in trouble. He's down the bottom lane. Shy is going to get caught on him, and look at this. Genji can't do a thing about it. Alex is going to come in, but that may well sign his death warrant. Why does he throw the stun card out? He's just going to pop Ragnarok, and now he's turning on towards Alex Ich. He may have enough to turn him down. Does finally get the stun card down, and here comes Diamond Prox. Throws down the Wither. Is it going to be enough? Alex is trying to kite him around there. Does finally get him. It will be a kill, but they're going to lose the top in turret, and now they may even lose the inhibitor.
Every time the Gambit tries to go out and farm, as we just saw Darian in the top lane, gets caught. Genji at the bot lane, pushed out to get some farm to just keep his team in the game, gets caught and dies, and Frost taking advantage of that.
Here. Rapid Star does. Oh, he throws the ultimate down the Ignite. Is it going to be enough to finish him off? No, it's not, but Woong takes the inhibitor to it. Now they're on towards the inhibitor. Wither comes out from Diamond Prox, but it's only enough to keep them at bay. Stun card on towards Rapid Star. Cloud Templar comes in, hooks on towards Alex Ich. Alex Ich uses the Zonya, and that's going to be the bullet time coming out. He flashes away from him, but Alex Ich is going to get dropped there. Darian's trying to put as much damage down on towards Cloud Templar. For some reason, it's Rapid Star he wants to go for. There goes the lamp thrown in there. They get the hook on towards Mad Life. Mad Life may get caught out here. Edward picks up a kill on Cloud Templar. Now it's Mad Life they're going to get on towards. One more hit will be enough. He gets the Wither, puts down the Spirit Fire, and will pick up a kill, but it's 22-9. These kills are meaningless right now because they are simply defensive.
That was still a great turnaround, though, at least going head-to-head and coming out even with Frost, even though Shy wasn't really there in the end. Oh, sorry, actually didn't have to do anything over towards Genji since he was dead, but still, I mean, they picked up a couple of kills. They got a nice bounty on Shy, that 500 gold over to Alex. He was able to finish that Zonya's, which is really going to help him in these fights, but he doesn't really have the damage behind him yet. Like, they have a decent amount of poke with that Kog'Maw, with that Twisted Fate, but they're not in a position to use it yet. Frost is just being too aggressive to allow them to get poked down.
Oh, Genji's continuing to farm out. He has got that Phantom Dancer now, along with that Infinity Edge, so he's going to do a bit of damage, but as we already saw against Shy, it's not enough. And Shy just managed to walk through and almost 2v1 them. If it wasn't for Alex Ich and Diamond Prox, technically it was 3v1, wasn't it? So it took a lot of work to kill him down. Alex Ich almost resetting the blue buff there. We'll stun card it and just wild card pick it up. So blue buff given across to him. What are Gambit going to do about this? They kind of still are holding their jungle.
Yeah.
Only just.
They are. That's all because Edward keeps putting wards down. He has an Oracle on him right now to clear it out. And Demon, taking a look at Woong's items, I didn't even notice it till just now, but he finished the Black Cleaver, and he also has Boots of Swiftness with Home Guard on it. So he really wants to be super fast, wants to be able to get in there. He knows he's not going to be attacked on the fights. He knows he's going to be completely free to do as much damage as possible, so with that, he'll be able to keep up with the entire fight.
Yeah, he's just going to run around and kite them. We see Darian, he's teleporting back. He's going to have to come back into base, and now it's Frost pushing in towards that mid lane inhibitor. The hook comes out, but he misses. Doesn't land his target. Shy also pushing the bottom lane. That turret already nearly gone down, and now you can see Frost just come in, try and finish the job. As it happens, Genja's trying to protect Shy down the bottom lane, and the wave does get cleared out here with Darian and Alexic coming in to try and perform defensive duties, but Genja is doing everything he can to keep Shy away from this turret.
I really wouldn't be surprised if Rapistar jumps in with a little ulti popped on top of that, and they see Cloud Templar come in with the ultimate as well, just to lock them down. They have a really good team to initiate if they want to, but Shy is just split pushing this all day. The top lane is pushing against Gambit, and they're going to have to react to it sometime soon.
Siege Minion, I think, is coming in the next wave, and you do see it. There it is. It comes across. Spiritfire goes down. They're going to do everything, try and poke it away. Wither actually was put down on Woong to try and protect that turret. They do manage to clear out another wave, but it's only a matter of time now, and Genja still trying to keep Shy at bay.
And with Mad Life so far ahead right now, he even picked up a Zeke's Herald just to help out his team a little bit more. As a Lich Bane finally finished for Alex, it's just going to help out a lot on damage, not to mention the movement speed might help him kite just a little bit more. But look at this, every lane is being pushed in against them. Gambit is on their back foot right now. They need to farm, and they're doing that, but with the Super Minion pushing out, we can have Frost just pretty much siege all day at that middle turret.
Woong just needs a couple more shots in it. They're going to go for it. The hook went out there, the stun guard instead, but it's Cloud Templar that catches him, pulls him directly in towards it. Has to Zhonya's Hourglass, now they're back on towards it. Rapidstar comes across, Alex gets dropped. It's a godlike Rapidstar right now. He's going to pick up one. It's going to be a double kill for Woong. They're going to push through. It's going to be CJ Entus Frost knocking out the Wintel Extreme Masters World Champions in the semi-final. They are not going to be defending it. It's going to be an all-Korean affair here in Europe. And wow, what a great performance by Frost. They are going to take the victory 2-1, and Shy just teleports at the end for the sake of it. What a great result.
Well, why not? Yeah, Shy pretty much carrying his team that last game. Great job of him zoning in that last little fight. And CJ Frost, they could be joining their sister team in the finals. It all comes down to the SK Telecom.
And there they are. CJ Entus Blaze stood behind CJ Entus Frost. They are also in the semi-final, of course. They are in there with SK Telecom T1, but it's Gambit Gaming on your screens that are out of this tournament, and the last dying hope of Europe fades. As it will be Korea versus Korea in the final. But the question is, who will it be? We're going to go over to our odds and analysis desk to find out how it all went wrong for Gambit.
Incredible play from CJ Entus Frost throughout this entire tournament. Incredible play in this series. Very deserved win, eliminating Gambit Gaming for the first time ever in an Intel Extreme Masters. Sad to see them go, but the better team won. Can you walk us through the game?
Yeah, ultimately, I kind of feel Gambit went back to that first game. They were the uncoordinated team again. They were in lanes and positions they shouldn't have been. They took fights when they should have been. Some of the positioning from Genja and Alex at times was very questionable. We've got a couple of replays that display that in a bit. But ultimately, I don't know, maybe they relaxed a little bit too much between those two games. But Frost played incredibly well nonetheless and totally deserved to be in this final.
Now, if I can call back, in a previous game, and I think it was against SK Telecom T1, Alexic picked Zed, right, against the Kazakhs and dominated the mid lane. Is that correct?
Yes.
My memory?
I don't think it would have been SK Telecom 1 because I think they were the other group.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
But yeah, he did pick Zed to counter Kazakhs earlier on. And you were bringing it up during the game, that Twisted Fate against Kazakhs.
Seemed ineffective.
Yeah, and it's sort of as though he counterpicked himself. And you got the vibe from Champion Slate right at the very beginning that there was the feeling and the thought, well, let's play the map. Let's try push some towers, or maybe let's try do something a little bit different, because they put Xin Zhao in the top lane instead of the jungle. They had Nasus in the jungle. After that level 1, Nasus fell so far behind. Darian and Diamond actually sort of swapped, and you had Nasus in the top lane, you had Xin in the jungle. It was very sloppy and very messy from Gambit Gaming. And it just felt as though the champion selection process, it didn't appear to be thought of from what we know or what we've come to understand, because it looked like he counterpicked himself.
Yeah, I mean, it crossed my mind during the champ select. It's obvious that is a counterpick. Twisted Fate cannot go up against Kazakhs. But I mean, it's Alexic. If he knows what he's doing, or if anyone knows what they're doing, it's that guy. So I figured he'd had something up his sleeve. I thought there would be some kind of strategy they got in this, but it just never really never seemed to reveal itself if that's the case. There's the possibility, of course, of that level 1 completely through it, and that was a crazy start to the game. Edward flashing and grabbing the first blood, but he was using a lot for it. Genja had to give up his ghost. There was no jungle left for Diamond Prox. That's why they swapped with Darren. Darren had got some experience from lane. Darren was level 2, level 3, therefore strong enough to go to the jungle. Diamond Prox wasn't. He was level 2 and he couldn't clear his own jungle. Had to go and take some laning experience for that. And of course, he didn't get his first blue buff. That was stolen away again, which another point was just badly done by Gambit Gaming. They had 2 people in there. They were trying to do it. They had 2 people coming up the ramp. Rapid Star vanished from mid. Alex didn't follow him. Turns out Cloud Templar come in there as well. And it was 4v2. Then Alex kind of responded, but his teammates were already dead. And it just wasn't coordinated. Some teams wanted to go in and defend it. Some of them didn't. Alex had already lost a lot of CS in mid, so I can understand his reasoning for not wanting to leave it again. But ultimately, it came back to bite him.
Well, let's jump into a replay here. It is 18 minutes on the clock, and at the moment, you know, CJ Entus Frost, they've been playing a very, very chaotic game. They were pushing lanes, they were pushing towers, they were trying to set up some kills. It starts off with Woong and Mad Life. They are in the enemy jungle, and Woong actually is a very, very cheeky here with his bullet time. What follows from here is Gambit Gaming chasing them into the river, and let's just say it doesn't end very well. Panky, talk us through the play.
Starts out quite nice for Gambit. They do lose that red buff, unfortunately. Diamond comes around and finds Woong. Instantly cleansing that Wither, gets slowed, starts to chase. Alex now, teleport, gold card, onto Woong, nice shot. There's the ghost coming up from Diamond, he closes in. Red buff slows down, but ultimately he gets on top of it, lands down that Spirit Fire, gets the kill. But Alex has taken a lot of damage in the process. Genja is now cut off too, thanks to this teleport from Shy. And here's where Alex and Genja incredibly outpositioned. Alex has no mana. He comes around, he tries to kill Mad Life with Genja as the 2 of them. Rapid Star sees this, goes back to find the squishy targets. Why not? Shy's got the kill on Edward secured, goes back looking for these 2, goes straight over the wall, tries to find Alex, the Ignite goes down. That's an easy kill. Cloud Templar's coming around again, and Genja completely outpositioned again. Yes, he had to run straight underneath Shy should he want to escape, go back with the rest of his team. But for the cost of giving away 2 kills by staying in that river, he could have gone there, stood with his teammates. He had 2 teammates there waiting for Shy, or to collect Shy. Could have done something a little bit differently, or even just kept running. Like, there's no reason to stop and try and wait for Shy there. Just keep running all the way around, or run as you went down the river, heading towards the bottom lane and loop up that way, go the long way around. Instead, just trying to go back up that mid lane.
Watching this game, it reminded me of Giants. When Giants defeated Gambit like many weeks ago, it's a month and a half ago now, it was very chaotic. It was all over the place. CJ Entus Frost kept running. They were in the jungle, they were in the lanes, they were pushing towers, then they were teleporting. It was just, you know, it was non-stop aggression everywhere on the map, in every single lane, in every single portion. And Gambit were never really able to catch up because they never got into a rhythm. They never got into the flow of the game, or, you know, into a farming session, or even in their own jungle, the ability to move around freely. And it was just that chaotic nature that pushed them further and further behind. By 24 minutes, they were 10,000 gold down, 12-4 in kills, 5 towers to 1. This was another very big team fight that we're going to jump into. And I've kept the HUD up for a reason, just so you can actually see the extent of this game. Take a look at the vision here from CJ Entus Frost. It's completely covering the majority of Gambit Gaming's forest. We're going to go back up to full vision. Let's drop the HUD down. And Panky, talk us through this fight. It's a couple seconds early.
Yeah, so Gambit looking to take this one. Diamond comes around the side, gets a slant to Rapid. Then the call goes out. Go for this. Alex is there. He's got vision. The lantern goes down from Edward, giving him the shield before he teleports in. But ultimately, it could have been used somewhere else to pull someone in. Shy's teleporting into the back of the fight. Alex goes in on towards Mad Life. Not the ideal target, but it's a squishy one. It's a quick kill. Forces to use his ult on himself. Still dies. Genja is completely zoned here at the top of the fight. You can't even see him when you screen him in for that reason. And Alex has got Cloud Templar and Rapid Star having free reign over him, completely destroying him. All the while, Shy popped his Ragnarok and he's just chasing Diamond down and destroying him 1v1. Genja has been trying to do damage this entire time, but Shy's still on half health. Rapid Star's got his resets and he's chasing Genja all the way through it. Edward now a little bit cut off, does do his best with his flails and his hooks, and a great hook to that creep in the mid lane, but ultimately he's not going to escape from that once Rapid Star catches up.
Pretty much the entire time in this matchup, every single fight played out like that. There were moments where you thought, it could work, something could happen, and CJ Entus Frost just had the reply in every single step of the way.
I think I asked 5 times during that game to each of you, what do they do? How do they come back from this? And as they kept engaging, they kept losing. Was there really nothing? Or did they just miss their chances?
They missed the chances. Ultimately, earlier on, they lost a lot from their jungle being down. They've never had that mid laner that really Alex was behind because he missed out that CS to start with. He was not in a good position. Then his jungler was behind, his top lane was behind because they lost that top turret early. Diamond Proc couldn't do his own jungle, so that's 3 players that are struggling. And ultimately, to get those 3 back up there is a very hard task. Maybe if it was just Diamond Proc that was behind, or if it was just Alex that was struggling after the counter pick with Diamond on a level and Darren on a level, they can bring him up, keep it going, keep safe until he gets to that point where he is dangerous, he is scary. But with them all down, you can make those counter picks work, so you can survive as long as he's not directly feeding, which he didn't directly die over and over again to Rapstar. He survived in his lane and just farmed as best he could. Didn't have that team support because everyone else was lacking from the start.
To be, in my opinion, I feel that CJ Entus Frost simply outplayed Gambit Gaming in that matchup. I think they outpicked them as well. And I feel like that after that opening, after seeing how the lanes matched up, even if Gambit were playing 100%, I still feel like that composition, they would not have been able to protect that, Genji's Cogmore. And I think it had a very big role to play. So congratulations to CJ Entus Frost. They advanced to the finals.
Big congratulations. It will be an all-Korean grand final tomorrow. We'll start the day with SK Telecom T1 versus the other CJ Entus Blaze, which is going to be insane because they are 2 of the best teams in the entire world. And before, also don't forget, go to Raid Call, channel 1997, and vote for the match of the day. Now that you've seen all the matches, you can objectively decide what the best match of the day was. I'm leaning towards, what was it, Frost Millennium Game 2. That was epic. I don't know how that game's not going to win. And if we could quickly take a look at the brackets, if those are ready already before we leave for the night, we'll take a quick look and see what we're up for in the morning.
Well, that's it. Exactly like we said today, we had both quarterfinals and, of course, the first semi-final, exactly like you mentioned, 9:30 a.m. SK Telecom T1 versus CJ Entus Blaze. That is going to be a best of 3. The winner earns the right to challenge CJ Entus Frost in the best of 5 grand final following the semi-final tomorrow.
All right, well, that's it for us from the analysis desk today. It's been a day of amazing games. I've learned a lot as a player. I love being here, especially sitting with 2 guys with brains as large as yours, because mine is clearly very tiny. Thank you guys for carrying me.
It's got to be big enough to remember all those Lady Gaga lyrics though.
Well, I've actually been sitting here much of the day with a second earphone as I'm trying to memorize lyrics.
Well, I wish you the best of luck, Jared. Lady Gaga Kale, who will be singing tomorrow morning from the big expert analysis Quickshot and the big expert analysis Panky.
Rah rah, rah rah. I will see you tomorrow morning. We're going to go to the stage with Shox, where she's ready to interview the winning team.
Thank you, guys. What a victory here by CJ Entus Frost, bringing down the defending world champions, Gambit. What was the key to winning that game? Woong.
작년 우승자를 이겼는데 지금 그래서 결승 올라가는데 기분 어떤지, 그리고 뭐 어떤 거 잘해서 우승했는지.
그러니까 떠는 것 같은데.
이거 말해도 돼.
그러니까 갬빗 게이밍이 예전에 M5였잖아요. 그래서 M5가 저희 정말 예전부터 저희 처음 팀 시작했을 때 원룸 단칸방에서 엄청 작은 데서 시작했거든요. 저기 화장실보다 작은 데서 시작했는데 그때부터 지금까지 M5 봐오면서 갬빗 봐오면서 많이 성장했고, 지금부터 그때까지 왕좌, 그러니까 유럽 최고의 팀으로 남아있어줘서 정말 지금 꺾어서 2배로 3배로 기분 좋은 것 같아서 갬빗한테 되게 고맙다고 말하고 싶고, 지금까지 잘 해주고 따라와준 팀원들에게도 정말 고맙다고 얘기하고 싶어요.
Well, actually, they followed Gambit game back then, Moscow 5, when they were actually not very well known, and they were like practicing in a really small room, like. And from back then, when they started playing League of Legends, they always watched them play, and they always showed good performances and stuff. And first of all, he's really thankful to Gambit Gaming over their performance and how they played till now and stuff, how they're still going to play. And he's thankful to all his teammates who came the long way to here and played with him.
Okay. Obviously, Shy, once again, such a deciding factor in that game. Can you talk us through a little bit of how he acts in a team? Is he a shot caller? Does he make those plays? Why is he so valuable to the team?
샤이 선수가 지금 이번 대회에서도 성격이 대단해서 그냥 게임도 MVP만 게임 할 때마다 최고 팀에서 성격 내는데, 그 샤이가 얼마나 팀에 중요한 선수인지, 그리고 뭐 코치도 하고 코멘트 같은 것도 하는지 궁금하다고.
사실 샤이 선수지만 팀원들 하나하나 안중요한 팀원이 없다고 봐요. 안 그랬으면 한 명이라도 소중한 사람이 없었다면 저희가 갬빗을 이길 수 없었을 거라고 생각하고 당연히 모든 팀원 전부 다 든든한 버팀목이라고 생각해요.
Well, there's Shy is Shy and he's an outstanding player definitely, but he thinks that all of his teammates is like they're like outstanding players, and if not one of them would have performed how they do, then they wouldn't stand here and like qualify for the finals.
Strength of a team performance. Last question. Who are you playing tomorrow in the final and why?
내일 결승에서 누구 만날 것 같은지 그리고 누가 이길 것 같은지.
당연히 CJ 블레이즈 당연히 저희가 제일 잘 알고 얼마나 강한지 알고 있기 때문에 당연히 CJ 블레이즈가 올라올 거라고 생각합니다.
누가 이길 것 같은지. CJ Blaze and Frost.
Frost.
So he thinks that CJ Blaze gonna advance from the other semi-finals because they are the better team than SK Telecom, and I asked him like who's gonna win between Frost and Blaze, and he said they're gonna win for sure.
Okay, thank you very much, guys, and congratulations. That was our first semifinal, and what a semifinal it was. I think the second map had every single person in the audience here at the edge of their seat, and we got another semifinal to go tomorrow as well as the final. Let's take a look at the schedule for tomorrow. All right, we're going to be starting off again at 9:30 with the best of three, SK Telecom T1 versus CJ Entus Blaze, and then the grand final, which is going to be a best of 5. We're going to see who CJ Entus Frost is up against in that. It's going to be an amazing matchup, I have no doubt in my mind. Remember, you can reach us, you can tweet us all your thoughts at IEM, #IEM, or you can go on Facebook.com/IEM to give us your opinions, as well as go on youtube.com/ESLTV to let us know, to check out the VODs and check out all the videos. We are thanking you for tuning in today. We're going to see you tomorrow for an awesome second semifinal and an awesome final. See you tomorrow.
형 인사하자. 나왔습니다.